Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here. Today is July 31st, which means it's the last day of the month. It's a Friday, it's a payday, it's everything. It's like, whoo, all at once. So I'm excited to be here. The reason today is a payday though is because August 1st fell on a Saturday. My husband gets government checks and my son gets a government check. A retirement check, a disability check, and then my son gets SSI money. And so all those come on the 1st. Well, if the 1st falls on a weekend, they just give it the day before. That way the money's where it needs to be on or before the 1st. So early for us, but we're not going to count it in July. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the process. Those deposits are actually up there. I'm actually showing now. I haven't in the past, out of respect to my husband, but we had another conversation about it, and he was like, I think it would be better if we showed all our numbers. And I said, that would be awesome. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you see even better how we track our income and our expenses and how we spend our money. We just try to be really good stewards of our money, taking care of our needs, and then taking care of the needs of the people around us and our neighbors and our church and things like that. So, and sometimes our family. It depends if there's a need. So here we go. I'm going to reconcile July, and then we're going to open up and do an August budget. And I'm going to go over in August a little bit of the changes of the debt payoff. I have been on a debt payoff journey almost my whole life because I keep getting into debt and getting out of debt and into debt. And it's too much. And I'm tired of it. I really am. It's not worth the stress that you actually carry and feel the burden of when you're talking about debt. So I have decided to change it up a little bit. I do have a school loan, and the other debt that we have is our cell phones. And yes, your cell phone leases are a debt because you still have to pay it. Whether you pay it $33 a month or $35 a month over 2 years. Does that sound familiar? That sounds like a loan to me. It's like leasing a car, You can turn in at the end. Maybe you get all of it back. Maybe you have to pay a little extra for some damage. I don't know. I've always kept my phones and then recycled them or sold them somehow. But I had to get 2 new phones. Mine was very expensive because of what I chose, and my son had to get a new phone. And my other son's phone is fine. It still has a lease, and my husband's phone is almost gone lease. It only has $88 left. So I want to get rid of all 4 of these leases in the month of August. No later than the 1st of September, and I'm excited to show you how we're going to do that. So let's dive into this and see where we're at. So you can see here that we do have EveryDollar budget. And the reason it says EveryDollar is because I'm going to collapse this because that's a duplicate. You can put favorites and it goes up to the top, but I have them in categories down below too, so I'm just going to hide that. I like them at the top because I can quickly get to them without having to search the entire app. So anyway, tithing and offering. This right here, this one line item is actually is the checking account, joint checking account that all our bills come out of, all our category money comes from, everything like that. So when I have leftover money in the budget, I just put it here as a placeholder. It's like a buffer for the checking account. The rest of these are actually in a separate savings account. Has nothing to do with the checking account. But I track, and I call all of them sinking funds, but I track all of them in this one section. So I just know in my mind, this is checking. The rest of these are in one specific savings account. So here we go. I am actually going to sit here and I'm going to take out this number. Actually, no, I'm not. I thought I was going to do that, but I'm not going to do that. So I have EveryDollar budget. This was what's left over after I paid all my bills, but I got some reconciling to do down below, and then I will show you where we're over budget. We are a little over budget, but not terribly bad. We are within our means. We didn't even have to go into the buffer to do it. So we're really good there. We didn't put anything in except for this line item right here. Now, this is a new savings category. And I've talked about it a little bit before, but let me go back to the top here. At the top here, VA education benefits started again. And they're just deposits from a grant money from the post 9/11 GI Bill that my husband gets. And part of that is he requested 100%. I had him explain some of this to me the other night. He requested 100%, and when you request 100%, some of that is your housing and other benefits that kind of go along with the package, as well as paying the school. So the school gets paid first, then he gets a deposit. And depending on how they calculate things, which I really don't know, that money goes, the rest of the money goes to my husband, and the other half goes to the school for the labs, the classes, and whatever courses he's taking for his master's degree program now. So he says it looks like the GI Bill will fully cover his master's degree program all the way to the end. But just in case it doesn't, or the laws change and he doesn't get a lot of money, this time around, we decided to take any deposits from his post 9/11 GI Bill payment deposits for him that come into our bank account, like this one right here. We're going to put it into savings. That way, at the end, if for whatever reason we still have to pay out of pocket for any reason at all, I have no idea why we would. If we have to pay out of pocket, then we have some funds that were part of the GI Bill that was already given to us, and we can still not have to go too much in the hole for ourselves to pay for it, or at all, depending on how it all works out. We don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take them to finish. It just depends. We'll see what happens. So yeah, that was the first post deposit for the VA education. And I put it here in our savings and just titled it Master Degree, which is what he's getting right now. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And there's the deposit there. And then that will be building up over time. And we're just going to leave it sit there. Even if it takes a couple of years, we're just going to leave it sit there. Let's see, he requested extra money for the month of July, and so he got $180. That's my husband's personal money right here. He puts it on a prepaid Go card from our bank. It has no fees on it, so it's a perfect card for him to buy what he needs or what he wants without interfering with our bank account or bills or anything like that. So he uses that card for personal money, and because he's not a cash guy, he and I have not carried cash in our wallet in years. I mean, it's been 15 years or more, and occasionally we do, but a lot of times we don't, unless we're going somewhere where we have to pay cash for parking or events and stuff, which obviously nobody's doing right now because of COVID-19. But yeah, we rarely carry cash, so he uses that card, and he can use it internationally. So if he's traveling with the Navy overseas, which he's not doing right now either, but when he was, he could still use his personal money for that as well. So here is our mortgage, natural gas, electric, home security. This is all our housing and utilities right here. We did have an adjustment to our escrow. We did not have enough money go in for the property tax. I don't know how they calculated it wrong or why they calculated it wrong. I've only had my house for a year. It's our first mortgage, so I don't know the ins and outs of that, but that's okay. We just paid the difference so that our mortgage in August, which went up a little bit because they realized they didn't have enough coming out, we went ahead and paid for the 2019-2020 first year, $430 of the mortgage escrow. And then stormwater, City of Chesapeake, it's something that happens once a year apparently, and we just paid it and it was good. Gasoline. So this is the first item I have to reconcile. So we didn't drive much, like always. So yeah, not a lot of driving going on. So we didn't spend the $250 I budgeted. Why do I budget $250? Well, the reason is when my husband is going to the office and going to the ships and driving normally, on an average month, we would spend $250. Well, I'm hoping if I keep budgeting it in and things start slowly going back to normal and we can start going out in the community and back and forth to work again, then we will be able to, I will still be able to have the money I need for gas. So I just keep budgeting that amount because eventually I'm hoping and praying that things will get back semi-normal. A whole new normal, but semi-normal, whatever that's going to be. We did pay our vehicle property tax this year. We didn't have any maintenance on the vehicle. Vehicle registration came due and a state inspection. That was all my husband's vehicle stuff here. Grocery household. I did go over a little bit. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to pop this up in the corner because you're like, you've got these things over here. I'm like, yes, I do. So the first two in blue are deposits. That's for August. I don't count that money. I'm actually closing out my July budget today on the 31st. And then I will start any transactions starting today will be on the August budget. Even though it's the 31st, it really doesn't matter. It's just a technicality. But as long as I can put the pinpoint, okay, everything happened on the 30th and before of July, that goes on this budget. 31st and forward, that goes on the next month budget. And it works fine. So, yeah. So I have two things on here, a Food Lion and Subway, which are the last two things. I don't have anything else pending for our groceries and restaurant and stuff like that, or any other purchases for the July budget. So these are the last two budgets waiting to be posted. So Food Line I'm going to put here. In the last minute, my son was like, I need shampoo. I'm like, oh, man. And I buy like the big bottles with the pump and stuff like that. So I had to go to the store and get shampoo. And then this Subway, just didn't feel like cooking. And there we go. That was it. Now, I'm not going to do anything with these deposits. So here until I begin my July budget. Now I get to reconcile the rest of this. So, grocery household, I did go over about $83. So in the month of August, I'm actually increasing it from $900, which was kind of ambitious for us, to $1,000. And we should be under budget next month. Hopefully, depending on if we have something. The only reason this kind of went over about $83 is because I had a luncheon at my house with some of my home group family church members. They had lunch at my house and I bought some extra food and supplies and stuff. So I'm excited. I was excited about that. So I splurged a little bit. And then last minute shopping things, yeah, that's what that was. So I was just a little bit over, but we're not too terribly upset by the amount that we spent for grocery household, because many months it's like $1,100. So I'm pretty happy with this. So $93.54. So as you see, when I did the gas, that was what was left in gas. That number is going to change again once I put all this in, and it's going to take this $83.54 out of what's left of budget. There you go. See, it dropped down to $60.54. Now, my favorite, my actual absolute favorite. Oh, I do have something I need to put in here in my restaurants. Now, when I have one, I actually have one transaction that hasn't completely come through. I wasn't feeling well yesterday, and so I didn't feel like cooking, and it was just a bad day. So my husband's like, well, let's just run over McDonald's around the corner and get something to eat. I'm like, okay. And so when I have a transaction that's still pending in my bank account but has not come to EveryDollar, which pending transactions do not come to EveryDollar, at least not from my Navy Federal account, I have to wait for it to clear. And so I'm going to put in 2004, which was the amount we spent at McDonald's. And I'm going to type in restaurants McDonald's so I remember which one. And then I'm going to put a large X right here. That X represents to me that this was a pending transaction that hasn't cleared. So when it pops up in the corner over here, I'm going to go ahead and track this. When it pops up over here, after it finally clears, I can delete this out and put it in. But I want a reconciled perfect budget right now for today. So that is how I do that when I have outstanding transactions that have not cleared. So now I can reconcile with the actual number of what my, my nose itches, what my account actually reflects on my restaurants, on how much we actually spent. And we are way, way under budget. I am so excited about this. To be almost $200 under budget for restaurants, when for a year now I have not been able to keep that under control. Oh, gosh, it was a blessing. It was hard work. It was trying to remove temptations. And the way we did it was to finally come up with lunches we can make and fix at home. You think that would be easy? No, it wasn't. It really wasn't, because we'd rather go grab something and bring it home. And it was frustrating. And I'm like, it's just not worth the money, you know? I saved almost $200 by not going out to eat for lunch with my husband every day during the week because he's home, working from home. And that's the thing. He would go out to lunch and maybe a couple times a week take something to work, leftovers to work for lunch. But usually he would just grab something. And that's why we were like, he's like, every day, let's go grab something. Let's go grab something. And it got out of control. And I am so proud of us. I'm so excited for us. So let's see what this number gives us. All right, let's see. Come on. Oh, when I don't move the mouse too frequently, it takes a minute. Come on, there we go. All right, here we go. It like locks up on me. So I'm going to take this out. And we only spent $400 for the entire month. $453.05. And there we go. Now we have $257 left over, not including the buffer that we already have. Now this is going to go into over budget. As you can see, there's a couple more red down here. And I will explain that in just a second. But when it goes into over budget, it will use up what is in the balance that I use for my checking account. When I have money left over that balances forward to the next month, then that's where that money comes from. So this is like the buffer in my account. So I'm going to add what this is, because miscellaneous we went over, and we would not have gone over that $40.48 if I hadn't decided, and I could have waited, but there was a sale, and you know, us women, when there's a sale, we don't want to miss out. We can't miss out on it, so we justify it, and that's what I did. So I had bought a mask for my son. I don't have it with me. It's in the laundry. I'm going to wash it, and it's stitched where it kind of bunches away from the face, and we weren't sure if he was going to go back to school quite yet, and I bought one. And then it came in, and he tried it, and he liked it, and he said, yeah, I could go to school wearing it. Though now the school has come out and said, nope, we're going to start online only this year, the beginning of the year, the first 9 weeks, which is pretty much the first semester for him. And so if they go back, it'd be in the winter, and then maybe after Christmas going into the second semester. Anyway, so I bought the mask in case he went back. And even if he goes back in December, January, February timeframe, second semester, whatever it is, and school opens up again and the numbers are low, and they still require the mask, I wanted a mask that didn't touch his face. Didn't touch his mouth when he had to speak or while he was trying to breathe at school. So, wanted something as comfortable as possible on him. And then I ended up buying 3 more because I liked it myself. And nowadays, you really just cannot have too many masks. So anyways, that is what that $40, or I would never have gotten over budget, and I would have hit like only $2 under or something like that. But I felt that urgency and that panic, and I bought it. But I'm not not worried about it. Here's another thing, kind of felt panic emergency buying. The last month I did this, and this month I'm going to keep this going forward. Miscellaneous unbudgeted. So in my mind, I always have a buffer. I usually know how much for the month the buffer is going to be. And with school starting and more than likely most of it online, now that we know for sure it's definitely going to start online, my son wanted his own laptop, and when we did it in the spring online school, he was using my laptop, but we were competing for it a lot. So I'm like, I really want my own laptop. And so my husband and I talked about it, and I'm like, it's time to get another laptop. So we bought another laptop, a Chromebook, very nice. It was $299 plus tax, so it was $316.94. We saw it on Amazon. We saw it on Best Buy. We looked at all the reviews and stuff. It was a really good laptop. We really like it. And it's just for school. My son doesn't really get on it for anything else, and he doesn't really want to get on it. So for it to be school, it's fine. So it's unbudgeted, and I didn't plan anything for it, which is why there's zeros here. But I did put the transaction right there. So now I have to put it in the planned so I can get an accurate number here in my budgeted category. And I like doing that because if I put it in as planned and I didn't originally plan for it, it kind of throws my budget off a little bit. And it just helps me see the numbers better. Now, I could have easily just went back and planned it and budgeted for it, and it would have been fine. But I kind of wanted to show it this way because this is just another way of doing it. I did buy the laptop on Amazon, and it's right there. And we love it. It's perfect. It's just really nice Chromebook. I don't know what model or anything like that, but it was $299. It wasn't silver, but it was like kind of a silvery color, kind of like a MacBook or something. But anyways, it's really nice. He does his Zoom Trail Life meetings on there. So now we're $99.93 over. So that will be definitely coming out of the buffer. Everything else came out fine. Everything is good. Everything's zero balanced. And as you can see, here's where we're going to discuss debt payoff. School loan. Yeah, I owe $5,056 or something like that. And I'm so tired of paying on debt. The struggle is real. I'm just tired. I'm tired of paying it. There is no school loans right now. There no accruing interest fees or anything like that. And I had to buy 2 new cell phones. And so my husband and I discussed it. There was no easy answer. There's no right or wrong answer on this. If you're talking dollars and cents, it'd probably be better to pay this off than what I want to do to pay off the loan for or the leases on our phones. But yeah. Anyway, so we are not going to make a payment to my school loan this month. And I don't know how long I'm going to keep doing that. I might do it again in August to get the cell phones paid off. But what's going to be left over, and I'll show you that number in a minute, is what's going to go to my family's cell phone leases. It's a small debt. It's something we don't even consider as a debt. I think our leases on our phones were just like, our monthly bill, and we just pay it, and we just pay it, and we just pay it. And somebody had mentioned, Craig Dacey, I think is his name, mentioned it in his videos that these small debts that are kind of hidden, but they're not really hidden. We just don't think in those parameters for those debts, really eat into our budget. And one of them was the cell phone leases. And I'm like, gosh, that is right. My cell phone leases went from over $300-400 to over $2,000 overnight, just buying the 2 phones. I'm like, I cannot have over $2,000. And it brought my total debt And if I can find that real quick, it really raised my total debt. Obviously over $7,000. Let's see, it was $7,329.31. That's what it brought my total debt. And I'm like, last month I was just $5,049 or $495. Jeez. So we felt it would be better to tackle the cell phone leases because it's a smaller debt and then start tackling the school loan. Do the snowball method. It works for us. I prefer it that way because the fewer number of loans I have, the better. Psychologically, it makes me feel better. It lifts me up. I can feel more motivated, and that's what keeps you on track for paying off debt. Not so much the math of should I do avalanche, should I do snowball, should I do this, should I do that. The math really doesn't matter to me. It's what motivates me the most. And what is motivating me right now is paying off those cell phone leases. So in August, you're going to see where we're going to pay those off. I'm going to go here in my balance forward. This is my buffer. This is what's in my checking to clear out this over budget item right here from the laptop because we took the money out of this buffer. Okay, now I have $582.00. That never happens. So I'm going to add this here to the planned. And since this is a fund, it's going to take this 582. Oops, I don't want to do that. And it's going to add it to this. And then that is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Because my paper sheets says $863.07. So my paper budgeting is matching my EveryDollar budget, and I am in an EveryDollar budget, and I am happy with that. So what this is going to do is help me when I roll over in August, and I create the August budget here in a minute. You're going to see I'm going to transfer, even though I'm not really transferring funds, it's actually just sitting in my checking account already. I'm going to take this number and transfer it out of it in EveryDollar into my income. Oops, sorry. Into the income part. And at the top in my August budget. And that is what I'm using to pay off 3 of my 4 cell phone leases that I have. So I'm excited about that. So let's get started with that. And you see I already have a category from where I transfer from the sinking funds and the savings to put right here. So I'm going to transfer from the balance forward sinking fund all the way up here into the actual income, and then I can use it in my budget. And it's going to be beautiful. I'm so excited. So let's get started. Here we go. Setting up the August budget. Now, when it starts the August budget, it's going to literally copy everything over. Whatever you did last month, it's going to be a duplicate for this month. I have the paid version. Are you ready for August? See last year's budget to remember all your expenses. I don't really need that because last year's budget is nowhere near this year's budget. I had higher student loan debt. I had Visa. I had all these things. A year ago is when I really started the debt payoff journey, and I had a lot more stuff than I have now, and now I just have the 2. And I'm getting ready to get rid of 1 by the 1st of September. And by December, I should have my school loan paid off. So we'll be good to go there. So here is where I'm going to transfer those deposits. So I'm in my August. There's the deposits. I'm going to have to move this up a little bit. There we go. Alrighty. So here's my husband's retirement deposit. And I'm going to put it right there. And here's my husband's VA disability deposit. We'll put that right there. I have not transferred my son's rent money from his account to ours. We all have the same bank. So I will do that later, and eventually that'll show up there. All right. So I transfer those, and now they're in the August budget. Even though today's technically July 31st, it's fine. I'm using it into August. I'm counting today as August Eve. That's my budget. So I'm going to go through here. I'm actually going to, I'm going to put $0 here. The reason I'm putting $0 here is because it can vary. I don't know what, there we go. I don't know what the amount's going to be. It may be the same every month. It may not be the same every month. I really don't know. So I'm not going to count on it. I'm not using it for anything. I am just putting into savings, whatever it is. So I'm not going to budget until it actually shows up in the bank account and it's about ready to be deposited. As soon as it does, I will put VA education, and whatever the deposit is, slide it over, and then I'll go ahead and go down here to my savings, and I gotta take that out too because it thinks, oh, you got money coming. I don't know what it is. And as you can see, this is what rolled over from last month. So when I put it in the income, I'll immediately put it down here. They'll cancel each other out, and then we're ready to go. So I don't have to worry about that. So I don't have any plans for savings yet. This 70 cents is basically the interest that kind of builds in the account. Whenever it pops up, I just slide it in there as a placeholder. That's all that is. Let's see. So what I do want to do first, because I know I need to pay those cell phone bills, is I'm going to transfer those funds into here. So let's go down to, that needs to come out because I don't know what my total is yet. There we go. All right, and like I said, it just brings over what was last month, and you just take out the numbers you don't need and then put in the numbers you do need. Now it did put this up here, but that's okay. We're going to be changing as we go along. So what I want to do is go ahead and transfer out of here this number. I'm going to manually transfer it and take it out here. Oops, sorry. It won't let me. I wanted to see the number. That's the only reason I wanted to move it. I have it right here though. 853.07. Transfer to income from sinking fund. So, okay, now that I got that fixed. All right, I had to go back and tweak a transaction. And I'm not sure how I did it, and if I explained it, I'll probably confuse you, but now I have it all figured out. The rollover balance was the 853.07. So here we go. I want to put here income 853.07, and I did it again. I forgot those. There we go. And then I'm going to go here. Oh, I'm going to add income 853.07. Okay, track the income. So there we go. I went ahead and put that in there. Even though I didn't technically move money around, I moved around in EveryDollar. That way, in EveryDollar, it will work for me. So hopefully this makes sense and this is clear by the time I post the video. Now the rest of this, when these deposits come in, I'll take care of it then. I actually have to change these here. Let's see if I have the exact amount I need for that. Because my husband's income has changed a little bit. And I'll have to do that later. I'll drop this a little bit. The reason it changed a little bit is we added 1% more from his income to his Roth account. And so that's going to lower the salary he gets right now. So right now I have the monthly 39.06 divided by 2, which means he will be getting $2,269.53. Now I'll know for sure once deposit is posted, but I won't know until then. That way, this is a placeholder where I'm estimating what I think it's going to be. I'm pretty sure this is what it is, but I may be a few pennies off or a few dollars off, and that's okay. I'd rather estimate low than high and then not have enough money, but we should still be fine. Let's see. Now that I dropped that, everything there looks good. What's next? These are always the same. They don't change unless my husband has overtime. I'm not going to put the balance forward because I got to go through the rest of these to see how much we are paying on our bills. And one of our bills jumped up way high. $100. And that's our electric bill. So I think everybody's electric bill went up really high, but whew. This we're changing to 110. He's probably already transferred the money by now, but that's what's going there. He's not traveling. Our mortgage went up. So yeah, 1980.06. That's what our new mortgage is. So once they reevaluated the mortgage property tax, yeah, that's our new mortgage. It was 1951.33. Now it's 1980.06. What else? Natural gas went down. We use it for our heat. We have to wash our clothes, our dishwasher, and taking showers and stuff like that. But we're not using a lot of heat, so our gas drops pretty low in the summer. We could do one of those programs where they take an average for a year and pay the same thing every month, but I kind of like it in the summer when it's only $25 a month. So yeah, and I forgot to change my note over here. Here comes the electric, guys. I went from 154.73, and I did put a note in this, to 259.88. Whew. It has been hot. We've had several days of 100-degree heat with the heat index, and it's just been hot. So miserable. Home security does not change. City utilities, I'm going to change that to $100 because this is one of those months I don't have a statement coming. I get them every other month, and on the month I don't have a statement, I only send $100 in. That way, when the next month comes, it's close to $100, whether a little bit below or a little bit above, depending on how much water usage we have. Cell phones, I am actually going to, this is our monthly plan, cell phones. So this is the service, the fees, the leases, the insurances, all of it, what I normally would pay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump this up pretty high. I'm going to bump it up $100. And I'm going to put $400 here because I have no idea what the statement's going to look like until towards the end of the month because it's due on the 24th. So for $400. Let's see. I need line items for paying off the cell phones. I wonder what category I should put that in. I mean, I'm paying for the cell phone here as far as the monthly statements go, but to pay off, I'll put it under debt because I consider it a debt. So when I get to the debt category, I will put it there, and that's where the phones, whatchamacallit? I can't talk. Where I'm going to pay the cell phones individually and pay the first 3 cell phones. So hopefully all 4 will be paid off by the end of the month, but we'll have to see how much money we have left over if I can get mine paid off because mine is $1,099. I can't believe I bought a phone like that. But I got the iPhone 11 Max Pro because of the camera, and I film all my YouTube videos except for this is my laptop. I film all my YouTube videos on my phone, and so it's kind of a working phone, but at the same time knowing I have that lease of $1,000 and $1,099, I can't have it over my head. It weighs me down. Hurts my feelings, can't stand it, I want it to go. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put my cell phones at $400. I will make the adjustments at the end of the month. It'll probably go down, I just don't know how much, and I just want to make sure I have enough to cover it. Gasoline, again, $2.50 is what I normally budget. Hoping and praying we get back to a little more normalcy, even though I know it's not going to happen anytime soon. We do not have property tax, it's an annual thing, so there's nothing there. We're not getting our cars worked on. Registration is taken care of, so I don't need that. Inspection, that'll last a year, so that won't be for a while. And there we go. All right. Grocery household. I decided to do $1,000 this month, so I've got to change this. Like I said, these numbers were last month's numbers, and I have to update them when they roll over and you do your new budget. Restaurants, we're going to keep it at $6.50, even though it dropped a lot. Part of the reason is my husband and I have been married for 24 years, and we'll probably go out to a really nice restaurant because our anniversary is coming up on the 10th. So we're excited about that. And I just want to make sure there's enough money for a nice, really fancy place to go. So I am kind of happy to see this number is going to disappear. Now, I'm going to leave HelloFresh in here because I really like it. I really like using it. I really like the service, but I'm trying to save some bucks right now. And so we are not using HelloFresh. I've actually canceled the account. I am going to, of course, I can reopen the account if I really wanted to. And they keep emailing me. They really want my business back, but I used it for 6 months. I meal plan based off the recipe cards that they sent. They taught me how to cook a little bit better, and I have a little more grasp on what I'm doing, which I know is weird to say when, you've been cooking for your family for over 20 years, but I don't enjoy it, so I'm not very good at it. But that's okay. I'm going to leave HelloFresh there just in case we start using it, deciding to use it again, and that's why I'm going to leave it there. Miscellaneous is usually $5.50, so I'm going to put it back down to $5.50. Hopefully we'll stay in that this month. I always put 0 for unbudgeted. That's usually when I spend out of my buffer. It's just not something I budget for, and I just complete. Not sure what I'm doing. Complete the transactions once they happen. So haircuts. I've been cutting my son's hair. My husband quit cutting his hair, and my other son has not cut his hair or got his hair cut since June of 2017. So, and it's long. I call him Fabio now. It's so long. It's so dark and long and flowy. It's just like, you have my hair. You stole my hair from my youth. I want it back. And yeah, he's not giving it back. I am going to take out my haircut and color. I just had it cut and colored the other day. I don't know if I'm going to have it again in the month of August, but if I do, I'll put it back in. It's no big deal. It's one of those I just wait and see kind of things. I don't have any Bible studies I'm doing right now. I mean, I am doing Bible studies, but I don't have one that I have to budget for. Let's see. Amazon Music, CBS All Access, Sling. These are subscriptions. Insta Ink. I do a lot of printing. iTunes, Verizon, EveryDollar. None of that's changed. Insurance hasn't changed. ABC Healthcare. So I had a line item last month for $40-some. And this month, for whatever reason, they didn't charge us or take it out of our account. And they actually are going to be taking it out in August. So, I think they're waiting for one's a $40-some charge, and then there's another charge that bumps it up to $72.24. So, that's what I'm going to put here, $72.24. Checking my notes over here. And that is what we're going to pay. So we didn't pay the $40-some last month because apparently they were waiting on something else. And they're going to finish the charge, and then this is our portion of my husband's CPAP machine supplies stuff. The mask, the hose, the whole gear and stuff like that. I don't have anything yet. But, I think I'm going to go ahead. I might have something at the end of the month. So I'm going to go ahead and put $100 here. And I'm going to have to adjust that for my planners as well. I think I'm going to have to, which I have plenty in the budget to pay the allergy and asthma center. I get allergy shots. They're still waiting for some insurance stuff to happen and clear before I have to pay anything. But I only go every 3 weeks, so that's not so bad. Again, I'm not budgeting for school loan. We do just to keep our visas active. And we are trying to step out on faith and just close the account. We have no debt. We just have reoccurring charges. One's $12.95 and the other one's $30 that we need to get rid of, or that we pay on every month. And that could, both of those easily could be switched to our debit card for our checking account, but we just haven't done it yet. So there's that. We're having trouble letting it go, and Uncle Dave's going to have to talk us down. So anyways, Dave Ramsey, he does not like credit cards. I don't like credit cards either. It just, world of trouble. That's all it is. Wow, look at all that. That's a lot more money than I thought. So I need to go back and put in those school loans. They are line items for the debt section, because these are just the lease portions of the phones, and that's what I'm going to add here. So I'm going to put Eric, cell phone, and I'm going to put here budget $88 because that's what it is. And when I'm done recording today, I will be getting online and making those payments. So that's exciting. I'm so excited. All right, Jack, cell phone. But before I make those payments, I got to make sure it works in the budget. And then he's getting $343.74. Last night I went online and looked at the payoff amounts, and these are the exact payoff amounts. Hopefully nothing's changed since then. I don't think it does, unless you make a payment and the bill changes. $6.99. So Justin, cell phone. This is the newest lease. I actually just got this phone last month. All right, there's that. There we go. Yep. As you can see, it went from like, what was it, 1,700 or whatever, down to 825. Now my phone is 1,099, so that's not quite enough to pay it off, and I have to have the full amount to pay it off, or you pay it in increments. It's not like a school loan or credit card where you can put whatever amount you want to pay off the lease. That's not how they do it. At least I don't think that's how they do it. So, yeah, but I still have a buffer. I still have enough to carry me through the month and still pay all my bills, even my $259 electric bill. But I still have enough to cover my budget. And I even added $100 I wasn't expecting. I just decided as I was filming the video. So, yeah, it looks fine. It looks like we're going to be fine and things are going to be good. I'm not seeing a whole lot to be concerned about. I believe that'll go down, but I just don't know what it is, so I'm going to have a high number there. He's already taken that money out here. I took out everything in the buffer, so the buffer has nothing from the month of July. Now I'm going to put August buffer in. So this is what's left over to budget in this month. This is the checking account buffer, as I call it. I'm going to put that number here, 825.7. It's almost the same as last month. So I'm seeing a rhythm here, and that's good. So there we go. Now I'm at EveryDollar budget. I know where my money is going. I know how much I have available. I know what I budgeted for my groceries and household and my gasoline and my restaurants and miscellaneous stuff. I do mention that my husband has personal money. My personal money actually comes out of miscellaneous. I just track it in there, and I don't separate it because I'm pretty much in charge of the money. My husband really doesn't want to get involved or really want to have anything to do with it. He has his own little account and he's like, this is all I really want to take care of. I'm like, okay, go ahead. So, yeah, but I don't use more or spend more than what my husband does. So I just keep an eye on it. And I try to be fair with the rest of the family. So, but if somebody needed clothes or shoes or whatever they needed, that comes out of miscellaneous too. So I don't use all $550 of it. So yeah, that's what our month looks like. And I'm excited. Everything's looking good and we're ready to roll. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, I know it's a little lengthy, but please give it a thumbs up. And if you like more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel. I talk about my faith and I talk about budgeting. And so those are my two main wheelhouses that I like to talk about. Not so much in my faith lately. I've been mostly doing budgeting, but I am definitely excited for what I'm getting into next month, in the month of August. And I'm not going to let my budgeting distract me too much anymore for that part of my channel. So I hope you have an amazing and blessed day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.